Yeah, I hate David Lynch too. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Around Comics. I'm Brian Salazar, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, Christopher Niesman. What's up, my brother?
I don't know. It feels like this huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. A little bounce in my step. You know, the birds were singing, sun is shining. It's like 72 degrees and sunny in Wisconsin.
Yeah, the weather's been amazing, hasn't it, in the Midwest?
It's been
rainy,
some weird shift in the universe. I don't know.
I can't read your you always have a clever little name that you change, and
it says count the ... Don't count the votes.
Oh, all right, there we go. Always something. Tom should be joining us shortly. I believe he's putting his children to bed, reading them Silver Age Flash stories. I would imagine, trying to get them to nod off, but.
You think he's already up to the Flash, or is he, at some point, doesn't he just start playing, repeats of Tom versus the JLA to lull them to sleep?
Yeah, well,
those are way too exciting for bedtime stories.
We'll see. We'll have to find out what his bedtime stories are. I bet Tom actually, reads pretty normal sort of books to his kids, but it's fun to imagine
childhood books.
It's fun. It's funner to imagine him reading like Kirby and just. But I love the idea of him doing it exactly as he did, Tom versus the Flash. Like it just so his own commentary in all of it, and that's his kid's bedtime stories.
And so Elongated Man does something really ridiculous here, but no, I see Tom as like the Tales of H.P. Lovecraft kind of nighttime reader.
Gordy Adams joins us on Facebook.
Gordy.
And he says, "Right, explain matter-eating lad to kids." Yeah. Hey, that could take a week, I had a weird thing with my kid the other day. We were driving. I was driving my daughter, and it was raining, and she's like, "How come only like SUVs don't have, or only SUVs have rear windshield wipers?" And I was like, I don't know why only SUVs have rear. I honestly don't really have an answer for you.
Hatchbacks.
Yeah, well, some Priuses. I think Priuses. I found out today Priuses have them, but most cars don't have rear windshield wiper, and it's evidently it's because of SUVs and boxier cars aren't aerodynamic enough to push the rain off the rear windshield. Whereas there he is, President-elect Tom Caters. I refuse to concede that your president-elect status, sir. There will be no transition of power.
I think we'll let the court settle this.
We're gonna have to go to court.
We'll have to go to court. Frivolous lawsuits.
What's happening, Tom? We were just debating whether or not you read like Silver Age Flash, Carmen Infantino era Flash to your kids at bedtime.
I have. I've read like different showcases I have around. Sometimes if we're like looking for something to read,
Can you explain to them like pay for hire work?
I'm like, hey, listen, it's
these guys all died poor.
He used to like Legion of Superheroes, just because like he's a kid, so like he likes like there's 1,000 different characters. And
Gordo asked if you explained Matter Eater Lad to your children.
Sure, dude. He just eats stuff. Kids don't think about it that hard. He's like, oh, cool, yeah.
He's not wrapped up in continuity yet. He hasn't gotten to that point.
No, he just like he literally when we used to do that. Now he loves sports books and Dogman and a few superhero stuff here and there,
like sports books. You mean like 3 nights in August?
No, he'll like get like sports almanacs, like Scholastic, like sports almanac books about like who won the Super Bowl last year, like the greatest NFL players of all time. Like he's into that right now. Some Dogman. And then the occasional superhero book in there if he gets like bored of.
But it has to have fights.
A lot of fights. Same thing. He wants the more characters, the better. He just wants like a new character on page like every 5 minutes. He used to love
Legion is perfect for him then.
Yeah, he used to love looking through the almanac, the A to Z ones, you know, like all the characters.
Marvel Universe stuff.
Well, I had the DC one, and he loved because he would just flip through it and be like, "Who's this character?" You know, like it's just like, you know, pure kid curiosity.
Mm-hmm. That was cool.
Yeah, like who's this? Who's that? You know, like so it works. Worked for him.
You mean he doesn't like overthink and analyze things and really
no, zero thought about anything. It's great.
Not a slightly obsessive middle-aged man doing a podcast about.
He loves. That's the thing. He likes a good Silver Age Superman story now and then. They're really easy to understand. Like, you know, like they're not complicated. And they're pretty straightforward, and they're pretty goofy. Like you know, like if Superman has a robot that looks like him, you know, my kid will be like, "Oh, you made a robot." You know, like he's not. Yeah, like,
and have a lion for a head.
It's like, yeah, it's just purely like in the moment enjoyment of it, without like a whole lot of baggage to go with it. So he likes Captain Carrot too.
Oh, nice.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, he likes the
Captain Carrot. Not like Captain Carrot.
Like he's got the Captain Carrot showcase in his room, and he reads that every once in a while. Like he likes that.
Love it. It's funny. I was thinking because they announced. Did you guys watch the Venture Brothers? Were you Venture Brothers?
I love Venture Brothers.
Yes, yep.
Love Venture Brothers. That maybe
Brian Azzarello is my favorite character.
One of my favorite shows ever is the Venture Brothers, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, why do I love that show so much? What is it? I mean, it's obviously hilarious and you know, it harkens back, but it is a purely like, I don't know that there's another show that I watch that ever gives me the pure sort of nostalgic rush and makes me feel like I did when I was a kid. Like for some reason that show.
Yet you don't like Johnny Quest.
I've never really watched Johnny Quest. I've never got it. I've tried to watch it a couple times. I thought it was boring.
Kind of boring.
It's boring. I don't find it interesting.
When I think of Johnny Quest, I think of my grandparents' house, and that being like the only thing on.
Yeah,
like,
Johnny
Quest, right
Quest,
after like Popeye cereals.
Johnny Quest is the David Lynch of cartoons.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
David more entertaining.
More entertaining.
David Lynch more entertaining than Johnny Quest.
I know, but what it is I was thinking about it a little bit, and it's like there's something about, I get a feeling about whenever I put on an episode, it doesn't matter which episode, but it's like there's this feeling I get of I never know where that show is gonna go. Like it could be any kind of adventure, any episode, and that it was like that thrilling thing as a kid that so many shows like I loved Lost in Space as a kid. We lost. He's getting naked. Chris is getting naked. But like Lost in Space, that was the same thing. Like every episode, anything could have happened. Like and there was never any like rhyme or reason. There wasn't any sort of like you know, wall for it to break through. Like it could just do whatever it wanted to do. And that's what I love about Venture Brothers. I get that same feeling, like as silly and fun as is, like they could just go anywhere they want, like in that show, which I think is such a brilliant thing that they kind of built into it, where there's no real limitations. I mean, obviously the writing is really funny and just the way that they, you know, play on all the tropes of comics and cartoons and everything from when we were kids. But it's really that, for me personally, like it's that feeling of adventure that has. I don't get that adventure, yes, the adventure, and I'm really sad that it's not going to be back. It sucks that it's.
Isn't there talk that HBO Max might pick up the final season.
I would at least get a final season and finish it. But God, I wish they would just do. I could watch 20 more seasons of that show. I would
keep making it.
Yeah, just give me more and more of it. I can never get enough. Now he's back. What happened?
My flask fell off the shelf and
Oh,
my camera connection.
oh no!
True story. True.
My flask is also my Wi-Fi router.
True story.
Neil Johnson says imagination is the limit. You're right, Neil. That is correct. You are
And
right.
page count.
That's the only limit. I think it's a funny thing. Like, I think we get like so stuck in our heads that things have to be a certain thing and only can be that certain thing. You know what I mean? And you see that in nerds so much. Like
Nerds.
Once something is something, it's like there's no changing it.
Ruining.
What about the internet hate for the carnivorous Baby Yoda?
Oh,
I don't think it was hate, was it?
There's a lot. Yes, anger.
People were unsettled.
Poor little froglets.
He's a carnivore.
Or as
do you know
Mel
it's a
said on
he?
Facebook today, he's a monster.
Yeah, but they're unfertilized eggs. I eat unfertilized eggs all the time.
Right. You eat them all the time. I just think it was shocking.
I had some today.
I mean, he didn't make an omelet out of them. You know, it wasn't like he made some grotesque, presentation, some sort of ritual of, cooking with a bunch of. He just swallowed
ate it all.
I did see a Glenn Danzig quote today that said, egg salad really is just chicken salad if you think about it.
There you go.
What I was watching Showtime's there's a five-part series on the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, the famous comedy store.
Sure.
Mitzi Shore's Comedy Store and everything. But one of they go back and talk to a lot of the comedians that came through there, and one of them, Jay Leno, and he was just talking about joke writing. He's like, yeah, I keep having this joke in my head that I can't ever quite figure out. It's not really good, but it's like, whenever you eat something strange, everyone always says it tastes like chicken. Frog legs taste like chicken, and whatever. The snake tastes like chicken. Alligator tastes like chicken. The only thing that doesn't taste like chicken is eggs. And he's like, it's not a great joke, but it's
a joke there. There's a joke there.
There is a joke there.
There's something there.
Yeah, I love the video game culture that we're in, and I've no bones to pick with it. I love playing video games, but I actually saw this last episode of Mandalorian described as a side mission.
They're all kind of side missions in a way.
It's a side mission.
Yeah, it's episodic. It's very episodic.
Yeah,
show. I mean,
but to refer to it as a side mission, I thought was kind of funny.
Some amazing cutscenes
in
between. Yeah.
I guess I saw something today. There was a painting, an original painting. I can't think of the guy's name who did all the work from Star Wars, the original series. But
the concept artist.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. Anyway, somebody maybe on Facebook or Twitter will tell us. But there was a painting he had done, concept work for a part of the show that never got filmed, never got made. But it was an idea about Luke running into like these giant white spider things.
Oh yeah,
the painting is
okay.
So Favreau absolutely took it from that painting.
Right.
So
Oh yeah,
his
we're using
homework.
that.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw those things, I had some serious like alien vibes. I'm like, if these are face huggers.
Yeah, Ralph McQuarrie's
Ralph McQuarrie. Gordy gave us.
It was concept art from Empire Strikes Back, I think. At some point they were gonna have.
There was that moment I was like, are we crossing universes and these are gonna be face huggers?
Yeah, they looked like it a little bit.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda ate one of them though. Yeah.
Fucker will eat anything, man.
He's hungry, man.
Anything in his mouth.
He's hungry.
Brandon said
feed that
Yoda's
Yoda,
sitting
baby.
around making stew in a swamp. You really think he's not putting some sort of protein in there?
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah. This is true.
It really is. Yeah, it really is fun. But that's a little bit of our TV recaps, which we seem to be jumping into. There were some decent comics that came out in the last week or so. We're brandishing shivs and knives. You can kill someone with a pencil.
Yeah.
Do I need to get something pointy around here?
Need a weapon. We got to defend ourselves in the coming civil war. Are you prepared?
Are you prepared?
Wow, look at that. That was nice.
How are you investing in gold?
Oh yes.
So really nice comics week. Anything that you guys read?
Garbage.
Last week? Huh?
No, I was kidding.
I'm just catching up on stuff. I was catching up on the Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
Ooh, the Fraction
Steve Lieber. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it briefly before, but I'm almost all the way through it. And it's really, when you're talking about sort of like anything can kind of happen, it's a really great modernization of what makes the Silver Age comics so fun is that it's so low stakes. Like there's nothing truly at stake ever, which sounds like a terrible way to write a story, but it's actually kind of fun because
it's freeing.
It's Jimmy Olsen kind of fakes his own death and becomes Timmy Olsen and becomes like a blogger in Gotham City who's like super mean, and it turns out that gets him more page hits than being Jimmy Olsen, which was the only thing that makes the Daily Planet any money, is Jimmy Olsen doing like dumb shit and people clicking on it, know. So like this whole idea of like
news, that's
viral, yeah, like he's like a viral sensation, but just like also, it's sort of broken up into that like really annoying way Kirby would break up a book into like how many like first pages can I fit into one comic book, so like every 5 pages is the first page of like the next chapter, right?
It's a new adventure.
And it's
why is he in Nepal?
But it's always like really, it's like really jarring to read. It's like one of the things that, as much as I love like the Fourth World books, like that's the thing that makes me the craziest after a while. Or like Commandy is just like, dude, I cannot take any more
intro pages,
any more chapter divisions. Like this is like insane. Like it's fine if you read one issue and you're like, it's a couple of them, but then after if you read like 3 in a row and you're like, Jesus Christ. Like, please just like stick to the chapter for a little while. So it's always like there's, and they have so much fun with that of like these long intros to like this next chapter. But they also kind of modernize it by like breaking up the story so it's not totally linear at first. So you do have like these totally random chapters where you're like, wait, what is happening? Like, why is this happening? And so it's like a great mix of taking that thing that still drives me fucking crazy.
That's the thing. We always
there's
loved
some
about
beautiful
Fraction was that Fraction was I always considered him as like a comedic comic book writer. I mean, you look at all of the early stuff that he was doing. I mean, even Casanova had a lot of humor in it, but 5/5 of Science, we loved that. And then, he got popular and had to write a lot of serious Marvel work, but it's nice to see him back and really kind of embracing that really good humorous side of what he writes, because he's really good at it.
And the art is perfect for it. It's just really like the Steve Lieber art is just, like the perfect way of telling this sort of like fun mystery, but also just like insane story. That's funny. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I love those intro, and like I hate long chunks of like paragraphs of exposition in comics. Like if there's the only writer that I've ever read any of their like exposition, like their kind of literary pages in a comic is Alan Moore. And it's like, if you're not Alan Moore, stop trying it because you're shitty. Even his stuff was shitty, but it was just good enough to bother reading it. It's like, stop putting paragraphs of fucking information in the back of your comic books. I don't fucking care. Nothing you write is going to be interesting enough for me to care that much that I'm going to read 4 pages, extra pages of a book to understand your fucking backstory of your comic. But these were so well done and so funny.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, each one was just its own sort of joyful thing to read, and the way they were, you know, some of the alliterations that they would go on and on and on, you know, and making fun of that kind of thing. And
or just like, you know, it captured also too, like, the not just Stone Age, but like a little bit of Bronze Agey, you know, like his landlord lawyer, you know, it's pretty much like sort of a new take on like a Funky Flashman type, like, you know, like there's sort of, you know, discordant, weird, like mix of all these things, and like it's still like a pretty good story. And I mean, Jim, yeah, anytime you can get a great Jimmy Olsen story, it's great, because Jimmy Olsen is such a great character.
I loved it because it wasn't like the same kind of Jimmy Olsen. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just the sort of almost annoying sidekick character. Like, you know, it was much more of I mean, he was goofy and silly and that kind of thing, but
kind of gave him like a backstory
and a personality, an actual personality, and like an actual perspective, and like wanted, you know, things that he wanted or things that he, you know, was trying to do. And he was kind of a douche. And
or the idea that the Olsens and the Luthors have been feuding since, you know, like just sort of these like touches of like who Jimmy Olsen is, you know. He's like from this, he's like this goofball from like a wealthy family.
It has, I mean, for the 90s kids, it has a little bit of a Parker Lewis Can't Lose vibe to it. Is
a little bit. But I just
am I really off on that?
I love the idea of him, just he goes to Gotham City and he's like in his sad Gotham City apartment, and he's like, it's dark here. It's always dark in Gotham. He's got like this crazy board where he's got all the clues he's put together, and just like,
well, it was almost the self-awareness, you know, of, you know, does he break the fourth wall?
I don't think so. I mean, like the chapter divisions essentially do, because they acknowledge that you are, you know, reading a story, you know, like, but
I don't think he does.
I don't think the character does at any point.
I think it had, Parker Lewis. I think some of that it had. I mean, even like what's his name? Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller in it. That's sort of like, you know, kind of slacker loser, but somehow figures out he's just cool enough and you know, clever enough to figure his way out of trouble. And absolutely, I wouldn't be surprised if those were inspirations for it.
I just love like the part of the evil plot against Jimmy Olsen involves like injecting him with the wrong lizard serum. You know, like he was gonna get injected with this type, but we switched it with the turtle. Like part of the scheme is like he thinks he's getting a Mako lizard, but we're actually putting a turtle DNA in.
You really set yourself up for possible, you know, shenanigans when your life is filled with constantly being injected by lizard serum,
getting dropped from space, you know. It's great.
It's, like I said, it's great to see Fraction back, kind of doing stuff that we fell in love. You know,
and also a really good Lex Luthor in those as well. Like I like that sort of take on Lex Luthor, where he's kind of, like Lex Luthor himself has kind of got a little more character. You know, where he's not totally defined by like Superman.
His relationship with Superman.
Yeah, it's like interesting to see Luthor like outside of that, and sort of like given a chance to sort of like have his own character.
Well, that, I mean, even just like, you know, seeing Gotham City, seeing Metropolis, seeing the other characters more from Jimmy's perspective. And how they treat him.
Slapping the vape pen out of Lois's hand. It's for teens.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just seeing that kind of stuff was really kind of fun. Because you always just see it from like, you know, Metropolis is always just from Superman, sort of, or maybe Lois's, but, you know, it's generally about Superman, where this was like, you know, it wasn't as serious, maybe, or it just wasn't, it didn't have to be as serious. It was just sort of like you said, low consequence.
I gotta find the page where he slaps the vape pen out of her. That made me laugh. The very few times in a comic have I laughed out loud, but I forget what the sound effect that went with it was. It was like a vape pow.
Chris, I will agree with you. Like I was early on, like, the rest of us, I was a big Fraction fan. And then I felt like there was this weird, like, cult of personality that built up around him or something. Like he started writing bigger books, bigger titles. And then it became more about like Matt Fraction's personality, or Matt Fraction, the brand, than necessarily just like his work. And I really fell off from enjoying a lot of his work.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's like I stopped seeking it out, and there was a while I'm just like, this is like my top 3 writers in comics.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah, and it's just so hopefully he'll do more of this kind of stuff, because this was really fun, and
he's a funny guy.
Yeah, very funny and very clever. And this is kind of a perfect book for him, because it's like he obviously has a deep, like, understanding of the history of DC Comics and these characters, but he also is clever and funny, where he can put such a twist on it and look at it from a different perspective, where I don't know, and he doesn't have necessarily the same reverence that maybe some other writers might have, where they wouldn't do some of the stuff in this book, you know what I mean? Which I think that might be what I liked about Fraction early on, was his irreverence.
Mm-hmm.
And then he became sort of like Bendis Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your Avengers story?
Yeah,
we were on his Wikipedia page for a little while, I think.
I was?
No, we were the show, because we talked to him in 2006, and he's a big Cubs fan, and I got into a little beef with him, and he made a bet with me that if the Cardinals won the World Series that year, that he would blow up St. Louis in Casanova. He would make a point of writing that in.
I do remember that.
2006 World Series champions. I don't think that he ever made good on that.
Never did blow up St. Louis, huh?
I don't think
Son of a bitch. He's a welcher.
Yeah. Roll back the tape.
It's time to make good on his promise and destroy St. Louis.
Well,
have Jimmy Olsen destroy St. Louis.
Yeah, I think it was if the Cardinals win, I will blow up St. Louis.
Well, to go off of that, I'm giving up on baseball completely. We don't need to get into that.
What was your? Oh, is it the DUI?
Jesus fucking Christ! Can we not hire a geriatric alcoholic to manage this exciting young new fucking team?
Now, a couple glasses of wine with dinner.
Hey, man, fuck off. They need to fire his ass. They never should have hired him. They need to fire his ass right now. And Jerry Reinsdorf should fucking step down as chairman of the fucking White Sox for ruining this goddamn team. I
just never understand these rich dudes who can't fucking just hire. The first thing I would do if I was that wealthy would be hire someone to drive me everywhere, so I don't have to fucking think about it. Like,
but here's the thing: is that Tom would hire someone to drive him, but he would ride in the front seat.
That's it. That'd be my first thing. I'd be like, "Fuck that! I'm not driving anywhere. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna get drunk." It's like it's behavior of I don't know. It's like I mean, it's so irresponsible, right? And it's just so like, I don't know, man.
And you're like 78 years old,
dude. Come on.
Why are you even getting that drunk to begin with?
Yeah, dude, come on.
Where are you even going at 78 years old? Why are you not?
It may have only been a glass of wine.
If he wants to pull that off, he needs to coach the Brewers. That's
dude. You should. He shouldn't be driving anything but a golf cart.
Yeah, and it's like it's just like how can we ruin this young fun team? How can we turn the good vibes into just awful vibes.
We have more excitement around our franchise in 100 fucking years, and we ruin it in a month.
How can we get? What kind of wet blanket can we drape over?
On that note, Tom, if a Brewers manager got pulled over and didn't get a DUI, people would be upset.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah, Wisconsin, come on. Yeah.
Did you guys check out Sweet Tooth, The Return?
I have not yet.
I've never read Sweet Tooth.
You never read Sweet Tooth?
I started reading it and I was like, why am I reading this? I don't as much as I like.
Where's the fighting?
I don't know. I really love Jeff's work, and at that time, I really loved Jeff's work, and so yeah, I love it's one of those like 3 books that like made me cry at the end. You know, it's
pussy.
Pretty much. Pretty much. But if you read Sweet Tooth, this appears to be a 6-issue miniseries that's following up. And
can you explain to me what the first series was about?
It is dystopian, post-apocalyptic. Basically, there was a great sickness that basically wiped out almost the entire population of humans, and somewhere in there was a crossbreeding of like human animal hybrids that emerged out of this this big pandemic. And so the planet is basically it's split control between the remaining humans and these hybrids. And I think the children were born as hybrids. So
maybe I did read it.
Yeah. And so what the main character is Gus, which I think is named after Jeff's kid. I think his son is named Gus. But yeah, Gus is like this boy deer character, and it follows Gus as he kind of tries to figure out the truth of stuff, and finds other hybrid kids, and they've got to, they get captured by evil scientists and have to, break out and find their way in the world, and at the end everything is great. And this picks up 300 years later, and apparently the same thing has happened, and all of the hybrids have been wiped out except for this one kid who looks a lot like Gus.
300 years later?
It's 300 years later.
All right.
And so
I think I did read. I think maybe I didn't finish it. I don't know. I think I did. I do remember, as you were saying it.
It'll make you cry. It will make you cry. You're going to shed a tear. You will shed a tear.
No.
Guaranteed.
I don't have that.
You will cry.
You will cry. You will cry big, man.
I have never, ever cried in a comic.
No comic has ever made you cry.
Never.
Like, Why the Last Man?
What the fuck am I crying about that for?
You never cried about X-Force?
You have a gnarled up black piece of coal in your chest. Don't you?
I will tell you, you know what?
You didn't cry when Superman died?
You know what made me misty the other day is I was catching up on Archer. Archer. And I know.
Archer makes you cry.
Yeah. Well, there was
the episode when Pam got really thin.
No. Oh. No, it was the episode where Archer comes out of his coma, his 3-year coma. So it's the episode 9. It's like season 9, episode 9, something like that. And he comes out of his coma, and then his mom's there in the hospital, and he's like, "Why are you here? It's like the middle of the night." And the nurse is like, "Well, she's always here." And she's like, "I'm not always here." And then they pan to like this little office room where she obviously has been sleeping out of a suitcase on a cot for the last 3 years.
Oh,
and they just sort of slow pan on this room, and I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. She's been living there the whole time.
Mallory, you won't cry about a poor dear boy but Mallory Archer makes you cry.
Mallory Archer makes me cry because I'm very much like Mallory Archer, where on the
This is
facade I have no emotions, but deep down I really do care and love people. So yes,
Sure.
that
where we're
is
gonna go?
probably, if I'm going to self-analyze myself, it is Mallory Archer is more like me than I want to admit.
That's funny. We've cracked.
Hey, Gordy's with me. Gordy just posted a comment. He said, "I cry at movies, sports, and songs, but never reading a comic book."
Okay.
So I don't know.
I cry at the end of every comic book
I cried before I read them.
because it's over.
No.
I cry at the price of the fucking comic books. $3.99 for this piece of shit.
Do I want to do this?
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take you away from.
If you are a Sweet Tooth fan, it's obviously something worth checking out. Like I said, it's going to be a 6-issue series, so that might be. I like the first issue. It'll probably be a trade waiter for me at this point.
Sounds good.
Yep, but yeah, it's Lemire back in Sweet Tooth. I like it.
I read
it, baby.
I didn't read anything new. I read a couple of second issues of stuff that I've already talked about. So I'll just touch on it quickly. Yeah, I really like this. I really love this Hellblazer so far. It's fun. Yeah. Tom Taylor's quickly becoming a favorite of mine.
Oh, hold on.
What the hell was going on here? What was that? Did your flask fall again? Now we have no sound for Chris. Wow.
What is he doing?
I don't know. Real professional. Real professional we got here.
Wow.
Anyway, so yeah, Hellblazer Rise and Fall, Book 2, Black. This is a Black label. It's Tom Taylor and Derek Robertson with Diego Rodriguez. First of all, I want to say this is probably my favorite. I think I said this already about issue 1, but it's probably my favorite Derek Robertson art. I don't know if he just like spent more time with it or what, but I really feel like it's some of his best work. I've never been that huge of a Derek Robertson fan as far as he's a very good comic book, storyteller as an artist. But I always felt like his art was sort of just nothing special to me. But I feel like in these 2 issues, he's really done a better job, or at least some stuff that I like more on this book. But this is a really fun Hellblazer story. And I'm not going to get into it real deep, but at one point there's a hilarious part where the devil tricks Constantine into thinking they had sex, which is pretty hilarious. And so just that alone is sort of worth the $11.99 or whatever these books cost. No, $6.99.
The $12.99.
$12.99 a book. And then issue 2 of the Department of Truth, which I've really enjoyed this a lot so far. Although I will say issue 2 I was a little disappointed with, only because I didn't feel like it moved the story along as well as I would have liked. It almost was it was like the first issue kind of got you going, and then the second issue took a step backwards as almost like a flashback, kind of.
Were there not 4 introductory first pages within it in a Kirby style?
No, not like that. It's just,
where are we now? We're here.
I just felt like, to me, they set it up really well in the first issue, where it was like, okay, this is what's going on. This guy's getting involved in this Department of Truth, which sort of investigates and tries to organize what is the truth, because the truth is malleable depending on how many people believe something. If enough people believe a conspiracy theory, it becomes true. And so this Department of Truth has to sort of fix things. And so I thought they set that up really well. But then the second issue is sort of a lot of backstory on the character that gets involved in it. And I'm just I don't really care. I just want him now to go out on X-Files sort of.
Yeah. You want to see it.
Yeah. Go be the Department of Truth, be an agent, and so I'm hoping that they move a little quicker moving forward with it, but we'll see. But it's written by what's his name? James Tinian the Fourth. And I really think he's becoming like, I think he's like going to be the next big writer. He's writing Detective Comics, I think, right now, or Batman, one or the other right now. But I think he's doing some really interesting stuff. And one of the books that I think he wrote, it came out this week. It's called Punchline, and it's a character that spun off of his a Batman run, the Joker War run, which I haven't read, and I don't really know anything about the character, but I did read that issue because I had gotten some really good reviews, and it's a really interesting book about this character Punchline, who's kind of like a Harley Quinn character, where she's obsessed with the Joker, evidently, but then this whole issue is sort of about like how she got obsessed and how she became radicalized, and it's very it's very meaningful in this day and age when there may be 70 million people in this country that have come under the spell of a very charismatic lunatic. So it's an interesting book from that perspective. Something I don't think you see a lot of out of DC Comics is sort of that sort of a spin on things. But really, really good stuff this week, I thought, or last week, I should say.
I never read Lucifer. Is this the Lucifer from?
Not really.
Not really.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, this felt a lot like the Lucifer from the TV show in a lot of ways.
It's more like the Lucifer from the TV show, which is not that much like the Lucifer from the comic book Lucifer.
That's kind of what I've been able to piece together. That's like the one like remotely comic book type show I can get my wife and I to watch together. She actually likes Lucifer.
I really like Lucifer too. I mean, it's a cop drama.
It is a
moonlighting
police, procedural.
Yeah, it's moonlighting with the devil.
Yes,
instead of Bruce Willis. It's it's
and fun. You know who one of the chief writers on Lucifer is?
I do not know.
Mike Costa.
I don't know who that is.
He wrote G.I. Joe Cobra. He was Ryan Brown's best friend from high school.
Oh, okay.
You know Mike Costa. You've read Mike Costa's work before. He did that really cool G.I. Joe Cobra issue that read front to back as a mirror.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
written. Sorry, I couldn't help you name drop, Chris.
I'm not name dropping. It's just
like that
mentioning that there is a comic book writer that is one of the lead writers on that show.
It's just like that Justice League United episode Unlimited episode where Lex Luthor takes over the Flash's body and rips the mask off. And he's like, "Oh, I don't know who this guy is." Finally, I can find out who the Flash is. And he's like, "I don't know. I have no idea who this is."
Yeah, that is always an interesting thing of like, we're gonna unmask Batman, but it's like, well, what if he was just some dude like out of millions of people that live in Gotham City and not
be like, it's a guy, it's just a guy.
No.
Just a dude that works at UPS.
Watchmen, that was the Rorschach thing. It's just like it's like some weird guy.
Which, is much more likely to be than a billionaire playboy philanthropist.
Yeah. It's not gonna be Howard Hughes, it's gonna be Kyle Rittenhouse.
Wow.
Bang! When is the second issue of Rorschach coming out? I'm looking forward to that.
Next week.
Okay.
I believe I saw Tom King tweet that. Or maybe it's after, I don't remember.
Man, they're squeezing really squeezing the orange on his stuff. I saw the Strange Adventures. Is that what he's working on now? The like director's cut edition. It's like It's only like 6 issues out.
Yeah.
You got like director's cut.
Yeah.
I tweeted. I saw that, and I tweeted a thing out. I kind of giving him shit because in like the first page of it, there's a panel where it's like it's with him. It's with Adam Strange and his wife, and they're gonna have sex on whatever the Thanagar or whatever, and the writing is like very simple. It's very sort of and I was like, man, this is that Eisner Award winning
Scription, next level writing. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Adam Strange and his wife do it.
For our new podcast.
Basically, that's what he said. Like they get it on or something.
They do it. They do it.
Yeah.
Would it make Bulging Trousers our new comic book?
It was
erotic
not
fiction
nearly
podcast?
hot enough. Not nearly sexy enough for that. No, my friend. No way.
Bulging Trousers. I forgot.
Yeah. We've talked about this. My wife's favorite podcast is Heaving Bosoms. It's a romance podcast.
Heaving bosoms.
The hottest sex scenes from comics.
I think your wife's trying to tell you something, Chris. I'm just saying.
Perhaps so. She seemed pretty excited about the whole Bulging Trousers podcast. She's like, crossover.
I think we can't even do this podcast successfully. I don't think we can start a second one.
No. Martin was like, that would be awesome. And just like, there's no way that Tom, Sal, and I are going to start reading romance anything.
Yeah, I mean,
you can go back and read like 1940s like Kirby romance comics. Those have got to be amazing.
No,
I bet they are. I bet they're. I mean, how many introductory pages he has in there? I wonder.
All the introduction you need.
Chapter 3. I know we just did this a couple pages ago, but we're doing it again.
So I had a question for you guys. I popped in my head up as I was driving home today. I wanted to ask just because I thought it might spur some funny discussion. But so we've obviously we've been friends with some pretty big name comic book creators over the years.
Don't go name dropping.
No. But if there are any creators that like, and we've met a bunch, we've obviously interviewed a bunch, that kind of thing. But is there any out there that one you've never gotten to know that you wish you could like be friends with? And then are there any out there that you think that you couldn't be friends with? And not because like they're dicks, but like they wouldn't be interested in being friends with you.
I mean, friends is a hard question.
The answer to both is John Byrne.
What was that, Tom?
The answer to both is John Byrne.
You'd like to be friends with John Byrne, but there's no chance.
No chance he wants to be friends with me. No, that's definitely not the answer to either one of those questions.
No.
It would be funny to try and
let's put it this way. Name a creator that you think you could be friends with that would want to be friends with you, and then name a creator that you think wouldn't want to be friends with you.
Will Pfeiffer.
Come on. Will is your friend.
I know, and he's one of the few comic book creators that could probably fucking tolerate me.
I'm just thinking about personalities. I mean, the second question's a trap. Is everyone would want to be friends with me?
Well, of course. Yeah.
So it would have to be like a fault in their.
There would have to be something wrong with them. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So it's
Sal's answer is the same person. I probably.
No, it's not. Well,
Rob
it's not the same.
Oh, it's Chaykin.
Oh no, God, no! I don't. No.
Really?
I love Howard Chaykin's work. I really enjoyed talking to Howard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'd want to be his friend, and I guarantee he wouldn't want to be my friend.
See? All right, so I got
but I don't know that I would want to be his friend necessarily.
Yeah. Like, what would you guys do? You guys like go get like?
Yeah, I don't. I just not. I don't think I'm curmudgeon-y enough to be Howard Chaykin's friend. Like I you know what I mean? Or like witty or interesting enough to be his friend. And I don't think I would enjoy, like, I would enjoy sitting down with Howard for an hour and talking, but I'm not going to like hang out with Howard Schenken. You know what I mean? Like, that's not.
They call to get him out of the bar.
Yeah, I don't. I just think he's not actually fun enough.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's that fun of a guy. I don't think he. I mean, I think he likes to be a little more miserable than I would like to be.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would.
Oh, great! Howard's bringing down the vibe again.
Yeah.
He's got to be like Howard.
No, the guy that
He's ruining everybody's fun.
Well, this is to go back in time. I would love to hang out with Darwin Cook.
Well, Darwin would be a guy that I think I could have been friends.
Oh
with.
yeah, for sure.
We would have probably fought at some point, but I think I could have been friends with him.
You do that with your friends.
Yeah. The guy that I think I would like to be friends with, but there's no chance in hell, is Neil Gaiman. Like, Neil Gaiman would never, like, he would despise me, especially if I had had more than 2 cocktails. I think Neil Gaiman would absolutely hate me.
You know who you would get along well with, and you would hate it?
We got 2 times.
Oh shit!
we entered.
There's 2 president-elects.
We got 2 president-elects.
Our worst nightmare.
Yeah, constitutional crisis.
Yeah, like you guys would not see eye to eye on stuff, but a guy that I would see you like actually getting along with, despite the political stuff, you and like Chuck Dixon would get along.
I've never really known him that well, but
I mean, he's kind of got that like Hemingway vibe to him. It's like, like run down a bear and like rip its heart out with his teeth, kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that. I get along with that kind of guy. Sure. I'm trying to think, like, well, Tom, it's obviously Carmen Infantino. I mean, they were.
We had a show together. That could have been
buddy. We were tight.
That could have been a sitcom. That we didn't get a mic on that is still the biggest travesty ever.
Not everything needs to be recorded,
Yeah, to be a fly on the wall then.
He just told me I was full of shit. He's like, who the fuck are you?
I wonder, like, Tom, would you want to be friends with like Stan Lee?
No,
I can't imagine you wanting that.
No, definitely not. No, I'm imagining myself hanging out with like 1978 Stan Lee and just being like, oh, Jesus Christ, like
this guy's a fucking mess.
It's like, oh God, can you like shut up for like 1 second? Oh my God, just talking. Shut up.
Why did I see? Did I see something this week that that Marvel is putting a moratorium on using the word Excelsior on anything? I feel like I saw that come up in a news feed.
Could be.
Yeah.
What do they put it on?
I don't know. I don't read enough Marvel comics, but I need to search that. But yeah, I saw that come up. It's like they're going to stop using Excelsior in anything. So
bury it. It's done.
Yeah. Even though I did. Speaking of like throwback stuff, God, what was I reading? There's something the other day, and it actually had editor's notes on it. It was a new comic, and it had editor's notes in it. Stop trying to stab me?
Ah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wait, Chris, what was your answer for who you'd?
I mean, Darwin Cook is someone, Greg
Rucka, possible.
Sure.
Well, that's the answer to both.
Definitely not.
Yeah, probably.
The truth is that for all of us, this is the same answer by its nature.
Kind of, yeah. None of them.
Be like, oh God, great.
I am a couple creators and so are you guys, and that's good enough for me. It's yeah.
they're all fucking whiny crybabies. I don't, you're not missing anything out, like not being friends with comic creators. They're nothing special. They're just like any other asshole. They just happen to draw or write shit.
Yeah, they're just making shit up all the time.
They're just normal. It's like, I legitimately consider Andy Parks a friend. And that's
it's funny. He said that he does
not missing anything by not being Andy Parks' friend.
You were not missing a damn thing by not being Andy Parks' friend.
It's funny because I heard the opposite from him.
So that's the answer to both questions then.
Yeah. I don't want to be friends with any comic book creators.
Do you think Darwin would have liked you, Chris? Well, you met Darwin before, right?
Yeah, we met him. I met him out in San Francisco at gotta see me in my pajamas. Out at Isotope Comics. So this is, I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. It's a little dark.
You didn't become fast friends.
We didn't. No. I embarrassed myself. I had been drinking. I had a big Farley moment, not with Cook, but with Bruce Timm. It was legitimately. You remember that time you did Batman: The Adventures? And
do you remember Batman?
Batman: The Animated Adventures? Those were really cool.
I enjoyed those.
Yeah.
Do you remember making that?
So I had a Farley moment with Bruce Timm, but not with Darwin Cook. He actually signed my copy of New Frontier.
But did not like you. He begrudgingly did it.
Yeah. Begrudgingly. No, he was fantastic. You never seen. I mean that it was a WonderCon. And he was basically the big name. It was a gigantic convention that was a big party for how awesome Darwin Cook was. And James Syme and the folks at Isotope had a signing on like that Saturday of the convention. And I mean, basically the comics community in San Francisco was throwing a gigantic Darwin Cook party. He was in a pretty good mood.
And you ruined it.
I did not ruin it. I may have slightly Bruce Timm of the evening.
And you drove Bruce Timm out of the party.
I want to tell you.
I think his parting words were, because of this guy, I will never draw a comic ever again.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Good job.
Please, someone get me a cab. This guy will not leave me alone.
It was pre-Uber. So it was a good night, though. That's a neat. Have any of you guys been out to that shop?
Nope.
Neat comic shop. It's a good one. It's I've only been out to San Francisco twice, and it's an awesome comic book shop. Hi, Parker.
Watch out! Giant rabbit just came in.
Yep. How's Zeus doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
He's getting old.
Yeah, he's like 7.
No, he's got to be older than that. Really? He's only 7? You got Parker's almost 12 now.
Yeah, we didn't get him. I mean, too close.
Okay. Nice. He was just Dog Talk on Around Comics.
Dog Talk. All right, boys. Are we? Is this? We got anything else?
I think this. I got it. One of my kids is running around upstairs.
Reminder on Tom's Trade Talks pick. Tom, tell us about Trade Talks.
Oh, yeah.
Prez. The new one.
Way to sell it.
Volume 1. The new
Volume 1. We might know, maybe our current president will concede by then. I doubt it. So it'll still be pertinent and relevant to our times.
Who wrote this one?
I want to say Mark Russell. I forget. I don't have it up in front of me. I figured, dude, the art is really odd. I want to say it begins with a B. The name begins with a B.
Well, I know one easy way to find it.
Ben Caldwell.
Yes.
Okay.
Great book. Very funny. Very much like the Jimmy Olsen book.
Sal started in Around Comics Trade Talks shop over at Amazon.
It's not a shop. It's a book club. It's just a book club. You don't have to. Yeah, I mean, you can just sign up for free, and basically it 2 things. You can keep track of what the current book is that we're reading, and then you can also look at books that we've done in the past. You can obviously buy them from there if you want. If you want to buy from Amazon, there's links there. You can buy any of this stuff. But it's just a book club, and you can also make suggestions if you sign up for the book club. You can make suggestions that we would read books that you would suggest. So, but yeah, it's on Amazon. I tweeted it out the link a few times. It's kind of a longer link, so I can't really tell you what it is. But I think if you just like search Google for Amazon book club around comics, you probably find it.
Okay.
Otherwise, go to our Twitter page at twitter.com/aroundcomics, and I've tweeted it a couple of times from there.
Great.
My answer is Alan Moore. I'd want to be friends with Alan Moore, and I would never mention comics ever.
No,
just talk about like magic and shit. I don't know. He seems like he seems like an interesting guy. Yeah. I would never ask him anything. I would never ever even like. I'd be like, "Oh, you wrote comics?
You wrote
surprising?
Comics?
Yeah, surprising.
What are those? What are comics?
Seems like childish bullshit."
I only watch comic book movies.
Yeah.
Do any good ones?
Just trade beard tips with him.
Oh yeah,
magic.
But for real, I'd love to talk to Alan Moore and never mention comics. I just he seems like a very smart man.
Yeah. It does
be very interesting.
I could not talk to Alan Moore and not talk to him about comics. That would be impossible. That would be a complete waste of fucking existence of my existence if I had the opportunity to talk to Alan Moore. I would have to kidnap him and make him talk to me about comics.
Watch out for that magic, though, man. Put the evil eye on you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been cursed before. I'm not.
Yeah.
If you would like to contact the show, you can do so by emailing us, and we love the listener emails. You can email us at info@aroundcomics.com. You can check in with us on the Twitters and the Facebooks and the TikTok. And wait, do we still no TikTok?
Oh, we're working on that.
Okay.
Yeah. The TikTok is all just old video of Chris being drunk and embarrassing himself with comic book professionals.
There's a lot of
years. That's all it is on TikTok. So
a lot of footage.
Just like drunkenly staggering towards a comic book creator and being like, "You remember the thing you're most famous for?"
It was awesome.
It was awesome. It was good.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was good.
I've puked in a lot of trash cans and a lot of towns in this country.
Hey, I've had it the other way around. I've had drunken comic book creators come up to me.
Oh, of course.
And be like,
"Call you a piece of shit."
No.
Listen, you piece of shit. Listen, Jack.
No,
shut your fucking mouth.
I've had one comic book creator threaten me. Here's another question. What comic book creator do you think you could beat up? And which one do you think you couldn't?
Oh, absolutely, Mike Norton.
You could or you couldn't?
No, he would kill me. I mean, Seeley's kind of wiry.
He can't throw a punch. Come on.
Yeah.
He's a pacifist.
Well, that's my answer. Is Seeley, and I couldn't beat up Norton, but if they actually combined into Master Blaster.
Wow, Tim's not that small.
Yeah, it's like Krang. Inside a giant Mike Norton.
I had Brian Azzarello threaten me.
Yeah, probably deserved it.
Did he have a razor in his shoe?
No, but I was terrified. He's the kind of guy that would like, even if I physically like sort of dominated him, he would like rip my throat out with his teeth,
or he'd like poison you.
Yeah, like 8 months later.
Well, there's a razor in that shoe.
What?
There's a razor blade in that shoe.
Yeah, you'd be like, while you're beating me up, I injected you with a poison. Oh no! What way to go?
Tom's answer is also Carmine Infantino.
Also Carmine Infantino. When he was alive, I could beat him up. What comic book critic could I beat up? Oh, what's the oldest living one?
I don't know. Arthur Adams, Marie Severin,
Ramona Fradon.
Ramona Fradon. I was going. Also, razor blade in her shoe.
Yeah. I I'm just trying to pick the easy guess here.
Yeah, Louise Simonson would whip your ass.
Yeah, just whip my ass.
I also had Scott. Wait, what's his name? The guy Snyder, Scott Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
He came up to me drunk as shit in a bar and somehow knew who I was and was asking for me, but I don't know why. I couldn't understand anything he was saying. He was so hammered, and I walked away.
Yeah. Did you tell him that you hated his work on Three Jokers?
This was no, but I would next time I see him.
It'd be like, I didn't fucking rate Three Jokers.
Maybe that's why he came up to me.
I didn't write it.
Remember that you had a dream? You hated John Cassaday for years because you had a dream that he stole your bike.
No. That's not true. That is Tim Seeley had a dream that John Cassaday stole his bike. I didn't have a dream. I had a drunken memory that John Cassidy was an asshole to me in a conversation, but then after I thought about it, I realized I was the drunken asshole.
Yeah, that happens a lot in life.
And I can't figure out why he put up with me for so long in this conversation. He must be a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's probably super nice.
No, but Seeley was mad at him because he had a dream that he stole his bike.
Seeley's okay.
Yeah. No, I did not like John Cassaday for a long time because I had the memory that he was a dick to me. But then as I started to actually think about the events of the night, I realized he didn't do anything wrong. I was just a drunken asshole. And for some reason, he talked to me for probably 40 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
All right, guys. I have to go up as I hear one of my kids running around upstairs.
All right. Bye,
Tom. Good night.
Bye, President-elect Caters.
Bye.
We'll see you next week.
Let's unify.
Right. Unify everything. Ultimate unifier.
All right.
Yes. So.
All right, Sal. So anyway, so people out there watching, this is also an audio podcast. So if you like to, put something in your earbuds whenever you're out jogging or walking around or out mall walking or whatever, you can do that on the. But I know I got that one messed up. You can do that through the audio podcast. We have this as a live stream on now. We've moved to Tuesdays, 8:00 Central Time, just because it fits into our old white man middle-aged lifestyles a little bit better than Sunday night. And then you can archive this up at the old YouTubes.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
Yep. You get everything.
And wherever podcasts are found.
Mm-hmm.
And please, like Chris said, send us emails at info@aroundcomics.com. You can write us reviews at itunes.com. Those are always helpful. We still get, every once in a while, I still get a tweet or a mention. People are like, oh, you guys are back doing podcasts. So
tell your friends, tell your neighbors.
Yeah, tell your friends, tweet about it. Please share it on Facebook if because you guys have followers probably that may not know that we're back, that maybe listen to us at one time or another and aren't aware that we're putting out shows again. We've been doing it all year. So yeah, please help us out and share the show with your followers so that more people can listen and enjoy our silliness.
Absolutely. All right. Always fun, brother.
Yes, you too, sir. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you next week.
Democracy now.
In between time.
In the meantime,
are we still doing that?
Yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday. In the meantime,
in between time,
we'll be everywhere in
and around comics.
comics.